Most of our world is covered by water. But until recently, we've known very little about the ocean, except around the edges where people work and play. We know most about the shallow rim near the continents, the part called the continental shelf. It looks very different out in deep water. What makes the difference? Why aren't there lots of plants and animals down there? The reason it's like a desert down here is that there is no sunlight. No sunlight, no plants. No plants, little food. It's very different up in the sunlit continental shelf. Here the shark hunts for smaller prey. Smaller animals eat those still smaller. And what do the smaller animals eat? Under a microscope, we can find thousands of kinds of tiny animals that make up their food. But then what do these microscopic animals eat? In 1 cubic foot of this water, there are billions of plants so small, they just help make the water look cloudy. They're called diatoms. Under a very strong microscope, they look like this. Plants without leaves, without roots, stems, or flowers. Diatoms are the basic food at the beginning of the food chain for the animals of the sea. Oceanographers are exploring this world that we know so little about. One of their tools is an echo-sounding instrument for mapping the ocean floor. An echo bounces back in water, just as it does in air. We know how fast sound travels in water, so from the time it takes to go down and bounce up again, we can tell how far it is to the bottom. Countless echo soundings are being made. Scientists are putting these together to make accurate maps of the ocean floor. They have found tremendous mountain ranges larger than the Rocky Mountains, and awesome canyons deeper than the Grand Canyon. Another way scientists explore is by scooping up samples from the bottom for study. In the mud and sand lie secrets of the ocean's history, its animals, plants, and minerals. There are also ships rigged to drill deep into the sediment instead of just scooping off the ocean floor. A pipe is lowered and drilled into the ocean floor, then pulled up with a core of sediment. Then the pipe is cut in sections. Each section holds a fossil history reaching back millions of years. Oceanographers study these to learn how the ocean basins were formed. Now at last, we are designing deep water vehicles that take oceanographers down for first-hand observation and photography. Though there are no plants in this strange world, they have found fish that live in the dark and eat food that drifts down from the warmer waters above. Scientists are studying how these animals can live under the enormous pressures in this dark, hidden world. Besides the plants and animals, the ocean is a storehouse of invisible minerals dissolved in the water. If you live near the ocean, there's one kind of exploration you can do for yourself. At the end of the day, after the sun has gone to work for you, you will have a supply of salt. Salt is just one of the minerals in seawater. The ocean holds an invisible treasure. Let's mark out a mile square. And now a mile deep. A cubic mile of ocean. If we could boil all the water away, there would be an enormous quantity of minerals left. There would be about 40 pounds of gold and over a ton of silver. There would be enough salt to salt every hamburger in the world for centuries. There would be enough minerals to fertilize millions of acres of farmland and enough metals to manufacture almost anything you could think of. One of the few minerals that we have learned to get from seawater is salt. The salty water is trapped in shallow basins where it evaporates, just as it did in the paper plate. Another mineral that we get from seawater is a light, strong metal called magnesium. It's not often, though, that you find a factory beside the ocean. The coast isn't lined with factories for iron, copper, gold, and other minerals because separating them from the water would cost more than they're worth. All right, here's a question. If there are so many minerals in the ocean, how do you suppose they got there? Most of the minerals get into the ocean this way. Minerals in the earth dissolved in rainwater. They are carried in solution down to the sea. Then when the ocean water evaporates into the air, it leaves the minerals behind. Here's another question about the ocean. What enemy do all these things have in common? Seaweed? A starfish? A pelican? A whale? The answer is people. Everything we spill into our rivers and streams finds its way to the ocean. The ocean is like a huge sink. What we spill into it stays there. We've learned to take oil from under the sea, but when it spills into the water, this valuable mineral can cause a disaster. We don't have to spill pollutants directly into the water in order for them to end up in the ocean. The pesticides farmers use in their crops are washed down by the rains. DDT is taken in by tiny organisms, which are eaten by tiny fish, which are eaten by larger fish. When a pelican eats a fish, she has a dose of DDT with her meal. Not as many baby pelicans are born anymore. Many eggshells collapse, like this, scientists say because of DDT. However, we don't do all our killing indirectly by pollution. Uncontrolled fishing and whaling have seriously endangered whole species. The ocean is a storehouse of treasures, but we don't yet know how to get its treasures and still protect the ocean from what we do to it. We are only just beginning to understand the ocean and explore its secrets. We have much to learn.